Is hiding sins a form of hypocrisy?
AlMaghrib Institute presents Q&A with Ammar Alshukry.
Hiding sins is not a sign of hypocrisy. Hiding sins is a sign of faith. It's the exact opposite. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, كُلُّ أُمَّتِي مُعَافَى إِلَّا الْمُجَاهِرُونَ. He says, all of my ummah is forgiven except for the people who expose their sins. He then explained who the mujahirun are. He said, a person will commit a sin at night, and then they will go out in the morning saying, oh, so-and-so, I did such and such last night. They expose the covering of Allah, or they uncover the covering of Allah. So this is a person who did something the night before, nobody knew about it, Allah concealed their faults, and then in the morning they go out and they talk to people and they say, I did such and such last night. They're uncovering the cover of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ said, all of my ummah is forgiven except for these people, the people who go out and expose themselves. We don't just go out into the morning time in school and proclaim and tell people about the things that we did or at work or what have you, but now we actually expose ourselves live. And so when I'm somewhere I shouldn't be, I'm Snapchatting it, I'm Instagramming it, I'm sharing it, right, on social media. And this is a method, or this is one of the means that people expose themselves. And as such, we should avoid that. A question a person may ask is why? Why is the punishment for exposing yourself that a person be expelled from the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Like, what are the harms of me sharing these things? Well, number one, we're social creatures. And so I am affected by the things that you do, whether you like it or whether you're not. You know, we can have people scream all day about how they're not a role model. We can, and we've seen those discussions for years, for decades. All my life I've seen that discussion. People say, well, do as I say and not as I do. Or people saying, I'm not a role model, don't take me as a role model. As if you simply put that disclaimer out, that now people are not going to follow you. And at the same time, don't we try to get followers? I mean, if you are so adamant about not being a role model, then you should be satisfied with having 0 followers. But we have followers, and we try to have thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of followers. And so you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you are going to be someone who's followed, or you're not going to be somebody who's followed. And if you're not going to be somebody who's followed, then don't share what you do, because that influence affects people. And so then you will have the responsibility of everybody who is inspired, or everybody who's motivated, or everybody whose commitment to the deen is weakened because of the thing that you did, right? Because if I see so-and-so doing something, then it's been normalized for me. The more I see my friends, my family, the people that I look up to doing something, then it's going to become easier for me, because we are affected by what people do around us. And so it is actually virtue that a person try to minimize the effect that they have when they are committing a sin. That if I do something that is wrong, that I try as best as I can to limit the harm of that sin to me without making it spread towards other people.